Hello, my name is Wes Hickey, Chair of the Department of Educational Leadership at the University of Texas at Tyler, and in this Weekly 5 I want to talk about developmentally appropriate instruction. And developmentally appropriate instruction is something that you hear a lot in the early elementary grades, especially maybe even early childhood, because every one of these kids comes to school with different environmental advantages or disadvantages. They have different skill sets they bring to the table, and therefore you need to make sure that you put them in the proper place to be able to learn effectively. And bottom line is there's a certain foundation they need to have to be able to achieve and move to the next level. And so you want to make sure you address that so that they are capable of effectively learning as they move into the later grades. But I believe that this is really pretty much true at any age level, is that regardless of whether you're looking at elementary kids or middle school kids or high school kids or even adult learners, is that there's a process you have to go through. And as a father of a couple of daughters who went through softball and played a lot of softball over the years, I would often have to talk to parents because they'd be very upset and want to yell at their child at different points when their 8 or 9-year-old child did not perform at the level that they thought was appropriate. And we would often talk about the need to create this foundation for success later on. And you cannot forego the process. They've got to be able to not only learn and understand and practice the different skills to get better, but you're going to have to go through the time where there are mistakes being made, and you correct those and you keep going through it until eventually they get to be fairly effective at whatever they're trying to do. And this is certainly true in the classroom. Is that in the classroom is that we oftentimes have kids at any level that come in that do not have the foundational learning that is needed to be successful. And so we've got to start there and understand that learning is a process that requires both the proper skills and then of course that practice that takes and builds that foundation. And you cannot skip these foundational skills. If they're not in place, the child is not going to be successful later on. So even in high school, when we see our kids come in and they don't understand something, we can't suddenly skip that and move to another level. We've got to make sure we cover and create that foundation, understand it's a process if we're going to get the kids better. And then I do believe that teachers are in a unique position that they can set kids up for success. And if you don't make sure that they feel some success at different times, they're going to create this learned helplessness. They're going to give up on what they're trying to do. So we've got to make sure that they feel good about what they're doing on a regular basis. But frankly, that also means at times when it is developmentally appropriate, we want to make sure we challenge them in a way that gets them to push to the next level and recognize that they are better than who they think they are. At UT Tyler, let us know what we can do. I do want to point out that we have some of the most competitive rates on our programs, and I want you to look at that and definitely compare to others. And remember, inspire and educate, be architects of human potential.